Hello and good evening, friends. My name is Shantanu. I am here with a new video topic that is constructor and method chaining. Today is 3 August 2022. So let's start for today's video topic. Actually, we are from last 2 to 3 days we are getting some topics of OOPS concepts. It means I am explaining you every single part of OOPS system or concepts. So this is also a part of OOPS programming language only. So let's start with method and constructors chaining. What is method and why we are using methods, or what is constructor and why we are using this in our program, or what exactly it means, or what exactly the use of that particular code or particular name, constructor or method. So let's start with this. Actually, method is a set of code which is actually called, when it is called, it will execute only. If we cannot call any method, it will not gonna execute in our program. So this is the basically basic concept that uh, what we can say, the basic concept of uh, method. Second one, constructor. Constructor is nothing but the similar, more than 60-70% similar to methods, but there is some 2-3 difference we will discuss in this video. Next, after this, after some time, I'll explain you everything about constructor also. Let's start with methods. Method is having, or method is required to have a, what we can say, a particular return type. Second, method should have a arguments, or arguments number or sizes. This is two major points we required to start the method in our class or in our code. Method is, what we can say, we have to define method within a class only. So this is the, what we can say, rule to define a method in our particular program. So if we call a particular method, it will only that method will get execute. Rather than that method, nothing will gonna execute our program. So this is the main importance of method. Let's get into the constructor part. Constructor is similar, as I earlier told everyone that 60 or 70% is similar. It means constructor is similar with looking like syntax. What we can say, it is similar like syntax, showing that constructor name, uh, their body of the constructor and the body of methods are looking similar. We have to write a particular constructor name, body name, in between two, what we can say, talents. It is, we have to write a body of that particular method or constructor. So let's start with constructor. Constructor does not require, or constructor is not having any return type. It means constructor cannot provide any return type to our program, and constructor can write without any argument, or constructor can write. We can write a constructor without any input or any number. So this is the basically main difference of method and constructor. Let's get why we use methods and why we use constructors. First of all, methods. We use method to reuse our code. It means, what is the exactly meaning of this sentence is nothing but a method can be used if we create a particular method we can recall it or we can call it many times. It means we can write a particular code and we can reuse it so many times. So this is the main feature of methods. And second one is constructor. Why we use constructor? Constructor is used to increase the readability of particular code or particular class. So this is the main function of constructor. Constructor can only call at once if when we create a particular object of that class. Constructor is um, what we can say achieved by inheritance of that particular class. Constructor is a instance of that particular class or certain class where it is defined. Constructor is defined by a particular class name only. So that is why the class name of your particular code is similar to constructor name rather than in other hand in method there is not any requirement that we require to similar the our class name and method name. Method name can be changed or method name can be different from your particular class name. So this is all about the method and the constructor. Let's get into the point chaining. Why chaining or what is chaining? Actually, method chaining and constructor chaining both are similar to each others, but there is some difference between method and constructor only. This is only the difference between the both chainings. So let's what we can say. I'll explain only one chaining part so that you can understand both the chaining parts. They both are similar to each other. I'll explain constructor chaining part. Constructor chaining will happen with two types, with class, with the similar class and with the subclass. So this is what exactly it means. We can create a chain of constructor with the similar class. It means chaining of the particular constructor is made by this. This is a keyword to represent a constructor of the particular class. That is why we use this. This is nothing but a pointer in Java, but here I give a particular note to everyone. Here in Java, a programmer is prohibited to use a pointer. So that is why we use this. This is nothing but a pointer internally stored in our Java programming language. So this is why we use this in constructor creation. Second one, subclass construction creation. So it does not required to write this at in front of constructor when it is not in a class in similar class. We can write that particular class name and bracket and semicolon. So it will what we can say, it will impact or it will show the direct name of that particular class only. Internally it will change and internally it will take that particular sentence or that particular line to this or and that particular class name. It means that particular constructor name. This is all about the constructor chaining. Similarly we can create a method chaining. Both are similar as I earlier told everyone. I'll explain one example of method chaining. Method chaining, we can use method chaining to reduce or reuse of our particular code. It means if we have addition of two numbers, we can create a particular method one for getting the number one and putting it in some variable. We can create method number two and we can create both methods object and we can call that from the object to methods. So it will also similar to method chaining. So it will impact our method on, and we can get our program executed with this chaining system. It means it how we can correlate or how we can depend from one method to another method is nothing but the method chaining. In the similar way, we can interact or interconnect or what we can say in constructor and in method. We can say that, in other words, a particular one constructor is what we can say calling or communicating with other constructor or method is nothing but their communication between these two. We can get our chaining system. So this is all about the chaining system. Let's I'll explain one basic point that constructor chaining and method chaining are similar, but here the main difference is that constructors are different from methods and methods are different from constructors. Constructor are instance of that particular class, where methods are in between the class. So we have to create an object to call a method. Here in constructor we cannot require or does not require any creation of particular object to call our constructor. We can directly call our constructor because this is dependent or this is constructor is correlated to a main class of that particular code. When we create a particular class object, it will automatically call a constructor. So this is why we does not require any object creation for constructor calling. But in other hands, we have to create an object, a particular object of that particular method to call from object to method. So this is all about creation of method chaining and creation of this is all about both creation of method and creation of our constructor chaining. So this is from me for today's topic. Thank you so much.